We're gonna do show tunes pretty late. Little Frank Sinatra. We can bust it out all. Yeah, Gerry last night was about ready to bust out some show tunes too after O Canada.
No, Gerry wasn't going to bust out anything.
Welcome back. This is Condors Unleashed, My45, Bakersfield.com. Also, Condors.tv. You can catch the entire show on Condors.tv. We break it up for My45, Bakersfield.com live each and every Tuesday, 2 to 3 p.m. Condors stretch run here for the playoffs. So, again, tickets 324-PUCK, 324-7825, BakersfieldCondors.com. A lot of action coming down the stretch, and certainly Gerry Fleming, Condors head coach, joining us here for Coach's Corner. And Gerry, the trade deadline coming and passing. The Oilers very active at the trade deadline in terms of maybe transactions and up and down and player movement. I thought all in all, though, looking at it from an outside perspective, all in all, not bad for this Condors team because it could have been a lot worse in terms of Edmonton wanting to take a lot more guys here over the last couple of days.
Yeah, I think Edmonton did all right by us. If you look at the players they picked up off waivers to replace some of the players they moved, it helped us by getting Juge and Oisty back. And, there may be a couple of other transactions down the pipe here to come shortly, but I like our makeup of our team right now.
Yeah, the move to reassign LB and Darnell just to get him on that playoff roster there, that's a nice thing. I mean, they didn't have to do that for sure. You have any kind of indication on, would it have to be to the playoffs or could we see them beforehand?
I'm pretty sure they're going to want to keep those guys up there until the end of their season. But, at the end of the day, Edmonton wants to win. Obviously, they want to win at the NHL level and they want to win at the American Hockey League level. Development, part of development is teaching guys how to win and what it takes to win. And a big part of winning is having the right personnel. So I think that Edmonton has given us all the resources with some of the moves they made by using 2 of their recalls to give us the best possibility to get in the playoffs and then have some success in the playoffs.
How nice is that as a coach to know that you have an NHL team that's looking at the Condors and saying, all right, well, we know where we stand in the playoff picture. It's probably not in the cards this year. Listen, if we can give these guys just a little boost here down the stretch, they can do some nice things. And in the end, like you mentioned, it's going to help these players here moving forward.
Definitely. In our time in Oklahoma City, we made the playoffs every year, and that's our goal this year is to make the playoffs and have a deep run in the playoffs. Again, it comes back to development. And, the further you go in the playoffs, the guys get that playoff experience. They get the understanding of what it takes to win, how much you have to sacrifice your body. Like in the playoffs, it's a different world. Like every game could be your last game or it could be your last shift for the season. So you go out and you perform like it is going to be your last shift. And guys work hard, they sacrifice themselves, and that's all part of the development on the culture of winning, I think.
This team has come a long way, I think, this season in learning how to win and everything. This past weekend, it was kind of
an anomaly.
Yeah, it really was. Going back to the beginning of the season when no lead was safe and had to be kind of frustrating after a couple of pretty good performances, only come out of it with 1 point.
Yeah, that was definitely disappointing. It was disappointing for the guys too. Like, listen, their compete level as a staff, we talked about it, and guys really competed hard this weekend. They laid it on the line. We had a couple of breakdowns, and unfortunately those breakdowns ended up in the back of our net at costly times in the game. We'll learn from it. That's all you can really do. Like, it's part of the game. At times it can be a cruel game, especially losing the one on Friday night with a $1:18 left, them scoring late, and us, we had some chances, we had some looks there at the end, but it just didn't go in the net. But, I can't stress enough the effort that the guys gave, and it's heartbreaking. It could be a cruel game, but again, you move on, you pick yourself up, and we understand the importance of this weekend. We can't focus on what happened last weekend. We have to get ready for San Jose this weekend.
You saw the confidence that Juge Arcara had when he first came down after his first experience in the NHL. Jordan Oesterle goes up, plays 4 or 5 games with the Oilers. From all accounts, was outstanding in those 4 or 5 games with the Oilers. I mean, he just has to be brimming with confidence here in the last couple of weeks of the season.
Well, first of all, yes, I agree with that. Second of all, it's disappointing for them, like knowing that they played that well at that level and they get sent down. But they also understand, again, it comes back to development, and this is going to benefit them and their overall growth as a player moving forward with the organization. So it's disappointing, but again, it comes back to us looking ahead and saying, like, listen, guys, you're here to help us get into the playoffs, and this is going to help your overall development in the long run.
We had Kale Kessian on the show earlier, and we talked about his line. A bummer to lose Luke Gazdic because I thought that trio, I mean, they've been consistently night in, night out. I mean, you know exactly what you're getting every time you tap them on the shoulder.
Well, not only that, we were running 4 lines pretty fluently throughout the game. If we didn't have them running into penalty trouble, you can cut your bench a little bit shorter later on in the game, which rests guys, and, throughout the game. Like when you cut your bench short, like that catches up to you, especially with 2 and 2. So it was nice to have that 4th line, like you said. You can put them out even against other teams' first lines, and they did a good job defending. I played Gaz and Kess on the kill. They did a good job there. Kerr always plays on the kill. So just for those guys to get that confidence and to, make the game go by a little bit longer for the rest of the guys was really important for us.
You have an opportunity here as well. Maybe, when you look at the NHL standings, you look at the NHL schedule, and you're trying to get into the playoffs, well, you might only see a team once down the stretch in the last 18, 19 games, but you're going to see San Diego and San Jose here a ton. So the ball's really in the Condors' court here in terms of, you control your own destiny here moving forward.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You just have to go out and do it now. Like, we understand where we're at, what we have to do. Now we got to apply that. And that's where the success is going to come from. Like, we're playing these guys, and vice versa. They know we're playing us, so they're going to be good games. They're going to be intense games, and the big winners in all this are the fans. You're going to see some pretty good hockey.
You got a pretty good book on these teams, too, during the trade deadline where you kind of watching what those other teams were doing and how it might affect their roster.
Yeah, definitely. We lost Marty Granat to San Diego here. Marty was a good player for us. I've been with him now for 3 years. It was tough to see him leave. I know he wasn't playing. There was guys playing ahead of him, so we felt for him, for being a good soldier for all these years, it was important for him to get playing again and move on with his career. But yeah, we were always watching transactions from other teams to see how they're going to come together and what trades they made and how trades might have affected their team.
Talked about Laurent Brossoit earlier as well. Earlier in the week, LB signing a new 2-year deal extension with the Oilers, so congrats to him. But in the meantime, you have 2 netminders here in Bakersfield, Eetu Laurikainen, and now Nicholas Lundstrom comes over in a trade the Oilers acquired from the St. Louis Blues in a deal for Anders Nielsen. What's the situation moving forward in terms of Eetu and Nicholas? I know you haven't had a chance really to see Lundstrom here in quite some time, at least, to be able to play in a game, but to be able to see him here over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was good to see him today. First time, just kind of evaluating where he is and his style. And we have our goaltending coach, Sylvain Rodrigue, coming in this week to take a look at him, and I'll have a better perspective once Sylvain goes through the nuances of his game with him and lets us know what he sees as an expert in that position. But he looked fine today. E2, I thought, played well on the weekend.
Yeah.
He definitely didn't disappoint. Some of the chances we gave up were 10-bell chances, and he made 10-bell saves. So hopefully moving forward, he can just build. I know he didn't get the wins, but I thought he played well enough to get the win. So moving forward, E2 is going to be our guy, and we'll just go from there.
We haven't seen a lot of overtime this year. The Condors have been in the fewest overtime games in the entire league with 6. I know the Condors ended up losing the game on Saturday night against San Antonio, but your thoughts on 3-on-3 overtime, just overall, being able to watch other teams, being able to watch it in the NHL?
I thought we did a pretty good job possessing the puck. We had some looks at the net. Both teams, it was going back and forth. For the pace and the entertainment value, you can't beat it. 3-on-3 is pretty good, especially when guys are going all out like they did in that overtime. We haven't played many, but obviously disappointed with the outcome. But I thought overall we played well, performed based on the amount of games that we have played.
It's fun.
It's fun when you win. Yeah, it's real fun when you win. It's not so much fun when you don't.
And that one player, E2 came streaking out of the net to knock away the puck and deny a breakaway. I mean, those are the type of plays that you never.
Well, I'll tell you what. People were standing up the whole overtime. It was amazing to see. Like, people were on the edge of their seat. If not, they were standing on their feet. So it was a lot of energy in the building for sure.
Yeah. Throw 3-on-3 OT in the playoffs. Now we're talking.
Oh, now, yeah.
Now we're talking.
Slow down.
Maybe, hey, let's not get too radical. Let's not get too radical.
Slow down.
Condors with games basically all month of March. We've got New Jersey night with Ryan Hamilton's jersey. We've got April kicking in with Laurent Brossoit's bobblehead.
The Hulk is coming.
The Hulk's coming in for the final weekend of the regular season, so a lot of great promotions coming up.
Yeah, really?
Yeah,
really.
The actual one.
Right.
Right off the page.
Just don't make him angry.
Yeah,
No, I'm not going to make him angry. It'll be interesting to see. I've never met the Hulk.
It's also coming up March 8th, Bright House Networks night. If you're a Bright House Network subscriber, just bring your cable bill to the box office. You get up to 4 complimentary tickets. That's always a fun night, too, because guys, kind of walk in the morning, Tuesday night, and, lighter crowd, and then they show up and they look around and they go, There's 9,000 people here. What's going on?
Yeah,
So
last Bright House night, Networks night, we had to turn people away.
Yeah.
So don't wait until the last second.
Exactly.
Get your tickets early.
Yeah, and it was also when we named the AHL Condors was last year too. So a lot of fun on Bright House Networks night. Jerry, moving down the stretch here, this Condors team neck and neck, San Diego, San Jose. I mean, do you kind of look at one team or the other in terms of competition and who's, kind of you're gunning for here over the
Well,
down the stretch?
listen, there's you can throw Stockton in the mix there too.
Yeah.
They're a pretty good hockey team. You also have to look at the other division and see who's in fifth place in the crossover and that. So all that plays comes into effect. So all we have to focus on what we have to do, and that's win games. Go out and compete and play hard and give ourselves the best chance to win every night, and everything will take care of itself.
Always like the poker expression, just a chip in a chair. Just get us in. Get us in.
That's right.
And you never know what's going to happen.
All you got to do is get in there.
So, Jerry, we appreciate
Always
the time
a pleasure,
as always.
guys. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Jerry.
Yep,
It's Condors head coach Gerry Fleming. He's Kevin Bartle. Again, Bakersfield.com, BakersfieldCondors.com. You can check out Bakersfield.com for all the replays of the shows, Condors.tv, and My45. We'll step out. We'll take a break. If you're on My45, we enjoyed your company. If you're on Bakersfield.com, Lauren Kaufman will join us, Condors Community Relations Manager. Great night last night. Tip of Condor. The money was there was so much money, Bart's brought in. We're still counting it.
Wow.
Yeah.
They had to
That's great.
back the truck up.
They're
and
back.
job.
just load it.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
job.
The doors
girl.
open in the back, and the money bags are just coming on out. So, big thank you to Condors Town. Big thank you to the Petroleum Club of Bakersfield. We'll have a little highlight video as well from Tip of Condor coming up. Don't go anywhere. This is Condors Unleashed, Bakersfield.com, My45.